Well, good evening, everyone. My presentation is about anxiety, a topic that is very important today because it affects millions of people worldwide. In this presentation, I will explain what anxiety is, how it is different from fear, the main types of anxiety disorders, how the brain and genetics are involved, and finally, some personal perspective on living with anxiety. First, let's make a difference between fear and anxiety. Fear is the body's quick reaction when there is an immediate danger. For example, if you see a car driving toward you. Anxiety, however, is more about what could happen in the future. It means constant worry, nervousness, or tension, even if there is no real danger. This makes anxiety more persistent and difficult to manage in daily life. Experts usually divide this condition into three categories. Some disorders are mainly based on fear, others are dominated by anxiety, and some are a mix of both. This classification helps us to understand how different people experience anxiety in different ways. Now let's see the most common anxiety disorders. The first one is panic disorder. It causes sudden panic attacks, often with the fear of losing control. Social anxiety disorder is a very strong fear of being judged or embarrassed in social situations. Specific phobias are fears of particular things like heights, flying, or animals. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is the fear of open or crowded places, which can make people feel trapped. And generalized anxiety disorder, which is a constant worry about many areas of life, even without clear reasons. All of these disorders can seriously affect people's daily activities. Research shows that anxiety is not only a psychological issue, but also a biological one. The brain plays an essential role, and genetics can increase the risk of developing anxiety. For example, the amygdala, stress hormones, serotonin, and inher- inherited behaviors all play a part in how anxiety develops and affects people. The amygdala is like the brain's alarm system. When it thinks there is danger, it activates a fast reaction, sweating, trembling, or a racing heartbeat. In people with anxiety disorders, this alarm system reacts too often or too strongly, even in safe situations. The stress system, also called the HPA axis, control, controls the release of stress hormones. In people with chronic anxiety, this system becomes overactive. That means the body is almost always in a state of alert, which explain why they often feel exhausted or restless. Another important factor is serotonin, a chemical in the brain that regulates mood. When serotonin is out of balance, anxiety symptoms become stronger. This is why medication like SSRIs, which affect serotonin levels, can be very effective in treating anxiety. Genetics also have a role. For example, phobias often appear in childhood and can be inherited from parents. Studies with twins and family shows that anxiety can run in families, which means some people are naturally more vulnerable to it. Large scientific studies have found that different types of anxiety share some of the same genetic risk factors. This is very important because it means researchers can design better treatments that are more personalized depending on someone's genetic background. In everyday life, anxiety often leads to avoidance. People stop going to certain places or avoid certain activities because they are afraid. But the problem is that the more you avoid, the stronger the fear becomes and life becomes more limited. One of the best ways to deal with anxiety is to face fear gradually. Even if feels uncomfortable, taking small actions can reduce fear little by little. This process builds confidence and shows people that they are capable of handling these difficult situations. It's also about mindset. A warrior focuses on negative thoughts and possibilities, but a warrior chooses to face challenges with courage, even if there is still fear. Changing our way of thinking helps us manage anxiety in a healthier way. Recovery is not only about therapy or medicine, it is also about personal strength, resilience, and believing in yourself. When people recognize their own power, they can take control and improve their quality of life. Basically, in conclusion, anxiety should be understood from two perspectives, the scientific and the personal. Science provides effective treatments and explains the biological mechanisms, but personal empowerment is equally important. Only by combining both can we have a complete understanding of anxiety. So, thank you for all your attention. I hope this presentation help you to see anxiety not only as a disorder, but also as a challenge that people can overcome with the right tools and mindset.